Hello and welcome back. Today's video is going to be an anti-haul or not video. In these videos, I'm just talking about new makeup releases and whether I would anti-haul them or actually buy them. A lot of people do these type of videos and they are really fun to watch. I used to do them a lot more regularly, but it has been a while, so I thought I would go ahead and do that. I have 10 different makeup releases to talk about, so let's just get into it. Alrighty, the first one is the Fenty Trophy Wife collection, and there's a set that's $69 with the gloss, the lipstick, the eyeliner, and the highlighter, and then there's also a shimmer powder that is $28. I don't know about this. I think the lip gloss is super pretty, but it looks just like a much cheaper lip gloss I'll be talking about later in the video. The lipstick, I don't know. I think a gold highlighter is really pretty, but I don't know. I feel like I don't really need this, although I have not tried Fenty yet, and I really want to. The only thing I ever tried was a 100-point perk from Sephora of one of the Mademoiselle lipsticks, and I really didn't like it. But I still want to try something from them, but I don't think it's going to be any of this, although if you're really into the gold highlighter and the shimmer, I do think this would be very good. There are several ColourPop releases in this video that I'm going to talk about. The first one is the Butterfly collection. So there's a palette that's $18, and then there's also a Jelly Much eyeshadow, a lipstick in the Blur formula, a lip bundle, and a Pixie Puff highlighter that is $16. Again, I don't know about this. I feel like the palette is really pretty though. I will say the colors are gorgeous. But it kind of looks like the Lilac You A Lot palette, but with some burgundies on the right-hand side. I think the palette is pretty, but I have all of these colors, although the whole butterfly thing when I was a kid, like butterflies were my favorite thing ever, so I have nostalgia for butterflies, but still I don't think I'm going to get this. All right, let's talk about some Black Friday deals that I wanted to mention. Anastasia always has a huge Black Friday sale, and they often do these bundles. But I have some thoughts about it because they've got 10 full-size liquid lipstick set for $69 and a 10 gloss set for $64, and then a 10 matte lipstick set for $59. The matte lipsticks are minis, they said, but the other two, the gloss and the liquid lipsticks, are full size. Personally, this is something I would be very wary of, particularly with those glosses, because I have owned several Anastasia lip glosses over time, and the first 3 I had expired at less than a year. I have one now that it's about 1 year and it's still fine, but I've heard other people say that too, that their lip glosses do expire a little faster than some other products. 10 lip glosses or 10 lipsticks all at once is kind of a lot to buy, especially if you have a large collection. I mean, I have 30-something lipsticks. I clearly don't need this. I mean, if you only own one lipstick or one gloss and you want the variety, personally, I love the Anastasia lip glosses, by the way. It's a really smooth formula and they're very pigmented. They are not sheer at all. I've tried one of their liquid lipsticks. It's not my favorite, but I'm also not a huge liquid lipstick person. And I did try one of their regular matte lipsticks. I did not like that formula. I thought it was just too dry. But I think if you already have a large collection, I would be very wary of buying 10 lip products all at once. However, they are also releasing 2 different vaults of their palettes. Last year, I think they released a vault with like 6 of their palettes. This year, they're releasing one it's Modern Renaissance and Soft Glam for $49. That actually, I think, is a pretty good deal. I mean, I don't think eyeshadow expires as fast as lip products, although, you know, the thing on there probably says 12 months, although Modern Renaissance says 6 months. Anyway, side note, I still think that would be a better deal than buying all the lip products. If you don't own the palettes, for that price, wow. I mean, one of those palettes is $42. And if you don't own a lot of eyeshadow palettes, I love Soft Glam, I love Norvina, and I love Sultry. And then the other vault they have, I think that one was $69 or $59 for 3 palettes, Modern Renaissance, Soft Glam, and Norvina. I actually think I own most of those, so I'm not going to be getting it, but if I didn't, I would highly consider that, and I just feel like that is a much better deal than the lip products. Okay, we are back to ColourPop, and they're having another collab with Kathleen Lights, which I find interesting because I don't see that she's done a YouTube video about this, but It's a palette of their single eyeshadows for $45, 6-pan blush palette, also magnetic, for $45, and then some single blushes as well. I don't know. I thought this was so weird that they're having this and she hasn't even mentioned it, or maybe she did and I missed it. I don't know. But a lot of the eyeshadows, I looked at the list in that palette, are permanent shades, and some of them are in her Zodiac palette. So if you already have those, you probably don't need this. However, $45 for that many single eyeshadows is actually a pretty good deal. I have bought one of their pre-made bundles before, the Rainbow Land palette, and it came with a full set of their single eyeshadows and the palette, and it was only $40. So it was cheaper than this, but I still think that the price per eyeshadow would be really good. I love the ColourPop eyeshadow formula. It's definitely one of my favorites, but I own a lot of the eyeshadows in this bundle already. I saw Two Birds was in there, and then several of the shades from her Zodiac. But yeah, the blush, I already have a lot of blush, so I'm trying to skip that. I don't think I have tried the ColourPop powder blushes though. I've heard good things though. Let's stick with the ColourPop theme, and it's the Frozen collection. There are two palettes. I think they're $15 each, and then there's lipsticks. So there's, you know, one that's the cool toned one and more of a warm tone, the two different sisters. I think Frozen is a really cute movie, but the color stories in these palettes, personally, they don't really intrigue me all that much. If anything, the cool toned one is more interesting just because it's more different. I mean, I have so many warm tone neutral eyeshadows, like I need to stop, but yeah, and they do have pressed glitters in these also. I know people are getting fed up with these pressed glitters in the ColourPop eyeshadows, and I am one of those people, not so much that I am worried about putting it on my eyes, although I do wear contacts, so I probably should be a little concerned. It's more that I'm just not a huge glitter eyeshadow person. If I'm going to use glitter eyeshadow, I'll use one of my Stila glitters. So I'm not really into that they keep putting them in almost all of their palettes. This doesn't interest me, but you know, it's cute and I love Frozen. Okay, number 6 is an interesting release. So Forever 21 is collaborating with Cheetos, and they're making a palette. It's 6 shades, $16, and there's some lip glosses. The eyeshadow palette has a red, an orange, a yellow, a blue. I mean, purely from the standpoint of interesting factor, this actually intrigues me. Cheetos are probably one of my favorite snacks in the world. I went through a period in life where I think I had Cheetos for lunch every single day. I mean, in addition with other things, but anyway, I love Cheetos. I don't think they're that good for you, but they are delicious. However, I don't need to buy an eyeshadow palette just because I like the snack. I could just, you know, eat the Cheetos. I did hear that there was an indie brand that was supposed to collab with Cheetos, and it kind of fell through because of this. I don't know all of the details, but either way, just because there's makeup with Cheetos and I love Cheetos doesn't mean I need to buy the palette. Okay, this next one is a brand I had never heard of. It's Peachy Queen Cosmetics, and it's a Friends eyeshadow palette. It's called I'll Be There For You. It's $30. It's very, very colorful. It looks like that little thing on their door, which is so cute. And the names of the eyeshadows are hilarious. Pivot, Naked Guy, Trifle. I think this is so funny. I love Friends, and I feel like most people love Friends. So this is pretty cool. However, I don't really need it. I've never heard of the brand. I'm curious about their quality. But yeah, I don't need this, but I think it's pretty cool. This Milani collection I'm going to talk about really intrigues me. I don't think I'm going to get anything right now, but I am considering it at some point. There's a palette called the Gilded Gold palette. It is $20, and there's a blue and a gold, and a lot of people are saying that this looks like the Natasha Denona gold palette, which I don't own that. I see some similarities just from kind of knowing what the palette looks like, but I personally don't feel like they're identical or dupes. However, I own 2 Milani palettes, the Bold Obsessions and the Soft and Sultry. Wow, their quality is amazing. I feel like their formula is right on par or even better than some high-end eyeshadows. There's also a gold lipstick for $9 and a gold gloss. The lipstick, I would look hideous in that. No chance I'm even considering purchasing it. The gloss actually looks pretty because, you know, it's more sheer. You could put it over a neutral lipstick. I actually kind of think it's pretty, and it kind of looks like that Trophy Wife gloss by Fenty, which is kind of funny. This came out before the Fenty one, by the way. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I don't think I'm going to get it right now, but it's pretty tempting. And I love Milani eyeshadows. Okay, number 9 is Lethal Cosmetics Dream Palette. 6 matte eyeshadows, 3 metallic eyeshadows. This is really pretty, and this is an indie brand I've heard a lot of people talk about, and they've said really, really good things about their formula. There's an orange, a teal, a blue. It's very like kind of earthy. This is a really pretty palette. There wasn't a price on it when I saw, but I think this is really pretty, and I've heard really good things about the brand. I don't think I'm going to get it, but this is kind of a brand that's maybe on my wish list for the future to try. Not right now, but maybe at some point. Okay, and I saved the best for last, the Jaclyn Cosmetics Highlighter Collection. I did just want to talk about this a little bit because I will say I was a pretty big Jaclyn Hill fan years ago, and I didn't really fall like out of favor with her until the whole lipstick thing. Not because she messed up the lipsticks, but I personally don't feel like she handled it properly. There are rumors that people have not gotten their refunds yet, which hard to know if that's true, honestly. If that's true, that's pretty terrible that she'd be coming out with another product and not having refunded people that she said she would. But again, I don't think we have solid proof on that, but it's just people have said it. So the collection has 2 palettes that are $49, and there's some more subtle highlighters that are $32, and then a really intense loose highlighter for $24 each. A lot of people have said, you know, they're over highlighter. Personally, I love highlighter. It's eyeshadow and highlighter. Those are my 2 favorite like makeup categories. I'll just say I don't plan on getting this, mostly just because I don't feel like she handled the first issue very well. I do, however, feel that people do deserve second chances, but I feel like to me, she would have to really, really prove herself and show that there's good customer service and things like that. That was one thing that people were saying too, that Jaclyn Cosmetics wasn't getting back to people, and that was a huge problem. I did not buy her first release, but I will say if this had been her first release, I would have bought a couple of things because I do love highlighters. And from the swatches I've seen, they do look beautiful, but again, I'm just not trusting of the brand right now. I will say though that, you know, these are not unique. I mean, they're highlighters, and I think it's kind of interesting that the loose subtle ones, people are describing those exactly like the Lancome Absolute powders, which she raved about, and I own one of those, and it's really, really good. It just, obviously it is more expensive. Those are $60, but to me, it seems like that's kind of what it is. And then those really intense loose ones, to me, they seem, again, I don't own the Kylie ones or hers, but they seem similar. Again, that's a formula she's raved about. Or the Makeup Forever loose intense highlighter. I do own that, and it is amazing. I don't know, to me, that's kind of what it seemed like. And again, those were products that she raved about. I don't know. I'm not going to get anything from this, but if this had been her first release and, you know, the previous debauchery hadn't happened, I probably would buy 1 or 2 things. However, I'm not. The only other side note I'll mention about this, it's a limited edition holiday collection, which I'm not completely against limited edition, but I find it highly unusual that a brand that literally has no products available anymore is coming out with a huge highlighter collection, but it's limited edition. Because when this goes away, I mean, if it does, then they have nothing in their brand. I find that weird. I feel like if you're already an established brand with all sorts of products, foundation, bronzers, highlighter, blah, blah, a limited edition makes more sense, but for a brand that doesn't have anything available, whatever, I find that weird. I'm not getting anything anyway. You know, they are getting positive reviews, but I feel like she's really gonna have to prove herself. Alrighty, that is it for this video. Let us know, what do you think about these products? Do you have any of them? Are you getting any of them? Are you not getting any of them? To me, honestly, the only thing I would strongly consider would be that Milani eyeshadow palette and the gloss. But, you know, I'll have to wait on that. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, I don't know if that's limited edition for the holidays. It might be. I'm not sure. Anyway, that is it. Let us know what you think, and thank you for watching.